then, of course, Sharia is the best law, but not with.
अभी आपने फरमाया कि
But please just let me know, shall it be a duel between you and me, and shall nobody else would be provided an opportunity, please? We wait for a while, then we may turn to you again, right? Yes, please. By the way, it's not chai. But anyway, it's good for my throat. Achha. Yes, please. Any other question, or shall we request him to continue? Of course, you're doing good job. We're asking questions, you know. No, I understand. Please, give him, because nobody else is interested. Let's continue. No, I don't mind at all. You see, you are asking your questions very civilly and kindly. I'm used to mullahs who spit fire when they ask questions. So don't bother about me. Please.
अभी आपने फरमाया था कि इस्लाम जो है या मजहब जो है वो फोर्स के जरिए जो है इम्पोज नहीं किया जा सकता। तो आप ने पढ़ा होगा इस बारे में कि जिस वक्त जहाद के लिए जाते थे और वो तलवार हाथ में होती थी और कहते थे कि या तो कलमा पढ़ो, जजिया दो, या फिर लड़ने के लिए तैयार हो जाओ।
कौन जाता था?
ये हिस्ट्री का हिस्सा है, आप इनको रिफ्यूज नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि
नहीं,
अगर आप
कौन जाता था ये पकड़ के और ये दावा करके?
ये जो भी सिपहसालार होते थे या खुलीफा होते थे उनकी
जमाने की बात, किस जमाने की?
उमर के जमाने की बात है, जिस वक्त
जमाने में ये नहीं होता था। I'll explain, please. You are talking of Umayyads and Abbasides.
नहीं, मैंने वैसे जो पढ़ा है मैं आपको बताऊं,
yes.
जो है फेवरेट जो सब्जेक्ट रहा है और मैं एमए किया है मैंने उसमें। तो
despite the fact that you are an MA Islamiyat, you have no right to change history, please. Excuse me.
ये मेरा फॉल्ट नहीं है।
I'll explain.
मैं जो पढ़ा हुआ है मैंने उसके बारे में
I'll explain to you. You might have read an Orientalist, because this is quite very fashionable with them to introduce Islam in the light as you are introducing today. If you read the correct history, it is not so. The fact is that you must understand the essence of the teaching. Why? Number one, no war was waged by Hadhrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to impose Islam on anyone. Mushrikeen lived with him throughout. Jews lived with him throughout. Christians lived with him throughout. Not a single person was coerced. So the inference you draw from some incidents during the war has to be something else. And I'll explain what it was. You understand? If Islam said you have a right to change the religion of anybody else, suppose it had said, who should have understood it better than Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? He was the person who was the recipient of revelation. You can't show a single incident in his lifetime where, living with disagreement, he raised even a little finger against a Jew, against a Christian, against a Sabi, whoever it was. So whatever inference you draw has to be re-studied and re-evaluated.
हजरत उमर, हजरत उस्मान, हजरत अली और हजरत अबू बकर के ज़माने में बहुत सारी फतवात हुई थी, बहुत सी जंगें हुई हैं। उनकी रीजन क्या थी? वो किस बिना पर लड़ी गई?
I understand. I'm coming to that, please. I have discussed these issues with many European historians who are well equipped with the weaponry they need against Islam, and I'm accustomed to these questions. This is why I interrupt you, not because I don't want you to finish, because I understand the question immediately. Such questions have been asked of me hundreds of times. And the moment you begin, I know the direction. That is what I was telling you. Sometimes Hazrat Umar also saw the direction of Sharia. If you are clear-headed, you can see things. So I understand your question. I will come to that. It's a bit coldish. Please if you want to give me something hot. Now, what happened, first of all, let's decide bit by bit, piecemeal. This is positive. There is no question against the contention which I am making, that Hadhrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the recipient of the law of the Quran, correct? He understood better than anybody else in the world, correct? He never raised sword against anybody for the difference of religious opinion, correct? Okay. So the issue is settled once and for all. Let's get into the rigmarole of what happened later on, why it happened. Now, Islam had already given permission to Muslims to defend themselves by sword if the sword had been raised against them. And this is what you should understand clearly. If you are a genuine inquirer, you must understand this. The first verse about the so-called jihad revealed in Surah Hajj. It's contained there. It says, and all Muslim scholars, Shia, Sunni, are agreed on this question. This is the first permission given to the Muslim society to raise sword. It says, "Uzina lillazina yuqataluna bi'annahum zulimu." Permission is being granted to those people against whom the sword is already raised for no crime of theirs. bi'annahum zulimu, and this is a transgression committed against them. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى نَصْرِهِمْ. Despite the fact that the permission is being granted to a weak people, not powerful people, because nobody commits crimes against a powerful nation. God assures them God is well capable of making them victorious. So although a weak people are given permission, because the one who gives the permission is all powerful, so he assures them, don't be afraid now. We have permitted to defend yourself against aggressors, never to make aggression. As long as you do that, you will be victorious. Then it says, who are the people to whom this permission is granted? الَّذِينَ أُخْرِجُوا مِنْ دِيَارِهِمْ بِغَيْرِ حَقٍّ. Those who have been turned out of their homes without any right, without any justification. إِلَّا أَن يَقُولُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ, just for the crime that they said, God is our Lord. This is the only crime they committed. And they were so weak and defenseless that people thought we can, do whatever you like with them. You can do away with them, you can kill them, you can destroy them, you can turn them out of their houses. This is exactly what. Then the principle of jihad is mentioned later on. It says, وَلَوْلَا دَفُّ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ بَعْضَهُمْ بِبَعْضٍ لَهُدِّمَتْ صَوَامِعُ وَبِيَعُ وَصَلَوَاتُ وَمَسَاجِدُ يُذْكَرَ فِيهَا اسْمُ اللَّهِ كَثِيرًا. If God had not permitted some people to defend themselves against other aggressors, it would have resulted into the destruction and annihilation of churches. Masajid is not mentioned here. Imagine the of the Holy Quran. It begins the concept of jihad by mentioning the defense, the rightful defense of the churches. Then it says synagogues. They would also be destroyed. The places of hermitage, private, people who remove themselves from public and remember God in private small places, that's called hermitage. Even they will be destroyed. Also the mosques. So the mullahs, I don't see where their wisdom goes when they think or they tell others jihad is to defend Islam against others. It's not so. Islam permits the holy war only in defense of the people who have been wronged, without any crime. And if those people are Christians and a Muslim defends their right, he would die a martyr, because the first mention is made in the Holy Quran of churches, not of the mosques. So this is my firm belief.